Hi guys, today on my table is the newly announced Panasonic LUMIX GH5 Mark II. I took it for a short spin and I shot a mini documentary with it, and of course I'm very happy to share my findings together with you guys. The original GH5 was really a legendary camera. It gave a lot to filmmakers for a very reasonable price. But I was very curious to find out what has changed since the original GH5 came out to the market. I think the main things that I saw are, first of all, Panasonic really tried to enhance the model, but before even doing so, they kept the physical shape of the camera exactly the same. And this is really good because if you already have some accessories like cages or whatever for the original GH5, all you have to do is just swap cameras and that's it. You don't have to really reinvest in anything new when it comes to accessories. Other than that, this is actually a completely new camera. The sensor, it has the same pixel count, but all in all, the actual architecture is very different. So I've been told by Panasonic. Also, the Venus engine is completely new, and put it all together with a new coating on the sensor to reduce flares, and you get a superior image quality with the new camera if I compare it to the older one. That's not the only thing that has been improved with this new model. What Panasonic actually tried to do is streamline the usage with other cameras in the Lumix line, meaning now you have the same exact menu structure, you have the same exact picture profiles. So it's very easy if you are a Panasonic user. I think you'll be very much familiar and feel right at home if you have another, or let's say if you take that camera as a B cam or A cam or whatever. So you'll feel very much comfortable to start to work with the camera as soon as you get it. Next to the menu, Panasonic also improved the autofocus system, and the stabilizing system has been enhanced too. And I can tell you the stabilizing system is working very, very well. And in regards to the autofocus, I know you're very curious to know how it's working. Anna from our team was sitting in front of the camera, and then she moved away, and then she came back. Autofocus worked really nice. I also asked Florian from our CineD team to help me, and while I'm at the center and the camera is focusing quite well, Florian is at my back and we are trying kind of to fool the camera with another face, but obviously the camera is really locked on my face. I want to summarize and say that the autofocus in the GH5 Mark II works very well, but if I have to be, less diplomatic here and say it's all a matter of trust. So I would love to trust it a little bit more, and I would love to see that the focus is actually locking on a person or on the person that I want to be in focus and not kind of changing in the middle. The issue might be if you're filming a group of people and then maybe the autofocus might be fooled a little bit. Other enhancements, if I compare it to the previous model, the Vlog L is now pre-installed, so you don't have to pay the extra $100 for it. The picture profiles are up to date, so you have the CineLike V and the CineLike D2, both of them are the latest version. And next to it, if you prefer to shoot in 4K, 50 or 60p, now that will come in 10-bit and not 8-bit like in the previous model. One of the fundamental enhancements is the ability to live stream with this camera. If you are a content creator, I think this is something that is extremely interesting. Actually, according to my knowledge, maybe this is even the first camera that can do so. Panasonic was kind enough to let us use the pre-version of the Lumix Live, the app and the software. With the app, we had less success, and I have to say this is only because it's not currently certified by Apple, but all the obstacles we had will simply go away when the app itself is available. But with the software, we had great success, and it's extremely easy. All you have to use is the Lumix Live software. You have to put your YouTube URL and then a certain key. That data has to be saved on an SD card, and then you simply take the SD card into the camera and load the information from there. When you have this, the camera will recognize to which YouTube studio you actually want to connect, and all you need at the end of the day is a good Wi-Fi connection. And if you're working with a mobile phone, of course what you will need is either 4G, 5G or Wi-Fi. But from the experiment we did at the office, it really worked fluently and very easy. And this is really a nice thing. Another thing that I would like to emphasize is the low light capability of the camera. This camera is not, let's say, not a low light monster. Yeah? What I would have preferred to see is somehow a combination of the GH5S low light capabilities in this camera. And this is a bit beyond my understanding. I don't know why Panasonic did not really try to take the opportunity and combine both products into a new one. So then what we would have gained is the ability of excellent stabilization system and at the same time low light capabilities. Unfortunately, with this product, the LUMIX GH5 II, it didn't happen. Another thing that I would like to mention, and it has nothing to do with this specific camera, but this is really across the LUMIX line, is the ability to grade vlog footage. Personally, and I'm not a colorist, I'm a one-man band in many cases. I'm filming and I'm grading my own stuff, sometimes using LUTs, mostly from lutify.me. But of course I use Film Convert and others too. And I have to say that with Panasonic, it's always a bit of a hit and miss here. Even if I use Panasonic's own LUTs, if I use Vlog and I put the LUT on it, I always get those a bit reddish skin tones. So either I'm doing something completely wrong here, or I would really love to see Panasonic coming up with new LUTs. Because of course, if they change anything with the Vlog itself, they have to change it across the line. Yeah? But maybe what they can do, because right now they're offering I think 33 free LUTs in their site, which is of course great. But maybe they have to take a closer look at those LUTs and create something that gives a very nice skin tone if possible. That would be of a great help. So I would like to summarize and actually start with who is this camera actually for. And I think if you are a Panasonic user, this new GH5 Mark II is a no-brainer, meaning if you need another camera within your Panasonic LUMIX arsenal for $1,700, yeah, this camera can do quite a lot. If you're starting from scratch, then I think it's a bit more to consider, because first you have the LUMIX S5 from Panasonic, which is coming now at the exact same price. You also have the Fujifilm X-T4, which is a great camera to start with, yeah, which offers quite a lot, and this is also almost at the same price. It's a few dollars more expensive, yeah, but at the end it's all around the $1,700. So it all boils down to what actually you want to do. So if you are a content creator and you know that you need videos and photos, and also from time to time to sit in front of a camera and stream live, then this camera is really, for the price, it's really a great offering. But if you are a filmmaker, then it's get a little bit more complicated, because there are other options in the market. And in all honesty, the GH6 was also announced at the same time, and that camera is promising to have a completely new sensor and a completely new engine and probably completely new capabilities. So if you're purely doing filmmaking, maybe it's worth to wait for the GH6. And if you're more type of a content creator with doing photos, videos, and live streaming, this is absolutely a good camera to start with. So let's watch the footage that I gathered with the camera.
Wait, who are you?
I'm a listener.
You sit there. You sit there. Your name is there. My name is Heather and I'm from Singapore. I'm 25 this year. My ambition is to be a director, and I live in Vienna now. This is the place to do it.
Heather is just about to finish another year at university, and for her final exam, she must direct a play which will be performed by her fellow students.
Ah, by the way, no, wait, sorry. And they're gonna give you a little bit of a...
What a ride this show was. Well, thank you. My friends are very good singers and very creative people, very like adventurous people too. So they're still studying. They are mainly studying in the university here, and they are very open-minded people. They like to explore. They like to be crazy. They like to feel, and they like to accept this kind of like challenge of a different consciousness.
No production can be called a real production without some last-minute shopping. Heather and a friend are rushing to the nearest supermarket to buy some props that they need to set up the stage.
You should pick some food that you're gonna eat after.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is recorded. We will know, we will eat the props. I've made a couple of like hasty decisions because I always found myself like in a position where I had to just decide on something, to take ownership of like my decisions and my responsibilities as a director. For like a whole team, everything that I do is very consequential.
But I mean, something in between,
they are walking away.
Okay.
And then actually there's thunder, but we need to tell them before, like if we're going to play the sound because they will hear the sound.
Okay.
Can one of you stand in front of the projector like you? Can you stand in front of the projector, please? Okay, we're here. Finally. Switch off the light. Ilya! Is the jellyfish in the middle? Put it down again. Is this okay? The other one was better.
The most important thing I think I've learned is to be able to think on your feet and make decisions.
Where is Boris going to stand? Oh,
Yeah, somewhere here.
over here.
Okay, I'm gonna look for them. That's what I think is always the catch,
One thing,
What happened?
we will not do that. It's not a pain for skin.
Okay, then don't do it,
Cannot-
don't do it,
no,
don't
no,
do it.
we
Yeah,
cannot.
okay, then don't do it.
Good.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thanks. Maria! Dealing with people, dealing with emotions in all situations, never to take like things personally. If anyone were to like be emotional on a certain day or something, we all learn that we're all here for each other and for ourselves as well at the same time. And we all want the best for the production. This is like the end goal.
Where's... Ja, komm, Nestler!
Wait, who are you?
I'm a listener.
You sit there. You sit there. Your name is like there.
So can we begin? Können wir anfangen? Can we begin? Ich muss rauf zum Lichtler. Yeah, we are going to start now.
Level of, how do you call it, the level of stress?
25 out of 10. We are happy to finish this Entstehung der Produkt. The finishing of the product is finally like here. We are all very happy for this. We celebrate this.
Weiter bitte die Regieklasse.
Well, the Magic Flute is written by Mozart and actually meant for the folk. It was written in a way that the Austrian public could understand it in a way that it's familiar to their dialect. It's simple, it's not complicated, it's based on a fairy tale, so to say. A prince rescues a princess and in the end like they have sort of a happy ending And it's a very like open-minded opera where you can interpret it in like a couple of very strange ways, where you can just set it in the kitchen, or you can set it in Egypt, or you can set it in a church, or anything you want. And I decided to try and like be, you know, adventurous and take this to Southeast Asia, so where I came from, or like near, you know, this region, India and everything. It's a big opera where there are so many characters that you can really like play on all of their relationships with each other. And like this scale allows me to also work with so many people that can put so many ideas together. It's easy but challenging. So it's nice to like take this simplicity and transform it into something complex.
Sie ist dem Jüngling bestimmt. Dies allein ist der Grund, warum ich sie der stolzen Mutter entriss. Das Weib übt sie stark zu sein.
The point on the enlightenment is, I guess, it's hidden, or like a part of this whole opera, so to say, in this whole big story here. And my association, or like my came to knowing with people who take drugs, you know, who believe that they are enlightened through taking drugs, is fascinating for me. So I decided to integrate like how they think they are enlightened through the use of drugs. In the end, we do not actually have a very positive ending when the main character decided to take drugs in the pursuit of like trying to find his inner self and travel to a country. He doesn't actually really find himself, he finds himself in a different, more difficult situation. I think it's my role, you know, to connect people, or to connect and realize visions of many. Working with people who are singers, who have like dreams and visions and everything, and they're putting all of their emotions into something I act as something to coordinate all of this together. I learned to develop a sense of team spirit together with everybody, a sense of like family.
Those are tears of happiness.
Yes,
no?
yes.
Quick summary, how was it?
It was great. I feel great. I take this value across like all projects I'm doing, that in every project we are a family together. We squabble and we fight, we go through pain together, but at the end we're all going to a final goal of like realizing the project in the best way. Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I also want to take the opportunity to thank Heather and her fellow students, including Paul Boris, of course, the conductor. They all did an amazing job, and yeah, it was simply a privilege to spend the whole day together with them. Good. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you, guys.